The JLL Coaching Pod, episode 11. We are here. We're talking about nutrition again. And this, if I had to guess, this is going to be one of the more popular episodes because people love hearing about nutrition. And it's such a bloody integral part of our lives. And to be honest, I would say it's some of the hardest things people will have to face in their life. Losing weight, gaining weight, particularly losing weight. I've seen and I've heard, as probably everyone has, so many people struggle with this. It's food is part of our identity. It's part of our culture, our society, our social activities. It is so integrated and intertwined with who we are, our identities, and it is a glorious thing. Let's be honest. Food, it is literally life. It's a beautiful thing. I love food. And making changes to the way we've eaten food historically in recent history, individually and as nations, we're not going to go into that, but individually, is bloody hard. I'll be straight up. It's bloody hard. Most people fail diets. That's been kind of confirmed in the literature. And I'm not surprised. It's bloody hard. Like long-term keeping weight off is bloody very, very, very difficult. What we're going to talk about is not too sciencey vibes, but more talking it through a few things that can potentially help with weight loss and gaining weight. I'm going to go over gaining weight first, then I'll dive into losing weight ideas there and a few principles for both. It is, if you want to lose weight or gain weight or make nutrition changes, habit changes, there's a few things, a few kind of woo-woo things and hard things, very, very hard things to do that will influence these outcomes. And those include like your social circle. Who are you around? Are you the healthiest in your social circle? It's very likely the way you eat, the way you consume calories, the amount of exercise you do is very similar to the people you hang around with. You might be a black sheep in your friendship group, and you might be the pinnacle guy or girl who's like, yeah, I'm the sports one or the healthy one. But the people you surround yourself with will influence massively the outcomes of your like health and fitness and your nutrition and things like that. So I encourage people to try and kind of surround themselves with people who are at where you want to go. Surround yourselves with individuals who have maybe been where you've been before and want to get where you're going. I think it's a huge thing about getting a personal trainer. It's like they're doing the habits and the behaviors. They can be, they might not be, but they can be doing the behaviors and habits that you want to do, that you want to become. For me, like when a new client starts who's not done any exercise before, the main priority is us having fun and enjoying the sessions. That comes first. Second is results and etc. etc. But you have to have fun, and that doesn't mean it's easy. I think it has to be difficult, but that's one thing. You're paying for a service to be around someone who will have a positive influence on your life with regards to things you want to change. It might not be fully positive. There's trade-offs to everything, but that's part of this relationship with a personal trainer and a client. It's, hey, I want to change this. I want to train more. I want to exercise more. I want to eat less candy, less sweets. I want to eat less Big Macs. I want to eat more chicken salads or whatever it is. PTs, they're supposed to be fit people, so get around them, and that could have a positive influence. Friendships, new friendships, colleagues, those kinds of things, surrounding yourselves with others who are where you want to be or are doing habits that you want to get after. Make it your norm. Your identity will have to change. That's so important, if you ask me, for long-term success with weight loss. That's kind of big picture ideas for weight loss. You might not have heard of before, maybe you have, but I think that's so important. Your identity around food, who you are, etc., etc. And then we'll go so of course, the things that have to change, your habits, what you actually do have to change. If you want to gain weight, you need to be in a calorie surplus. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So if you want to gain weight, you've got to eat more calories than you're currently using. Now, for some people, this is actually very challenging. I've had clients before just telling me they're eating until they're close to throwing up. I've been there, and it's absolutely disgusting. You don't want to be like that. It's a hard place to be, but there's a lot of people like that who just have to kind of force food down. Sounds like a dream, but everyone's got different problems, right? There's no such thing as a life without hardships. But yeah, to get either a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit, you need to probably change habits, because wherever you're at, if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you want to change something. So a few things on habits. Habits, if they are negative, taking away from your goal, typically it's better to remove them all. For example, if you're trying to stop doing drugs, but you keep drinking, it's likely that drinking leads to doing the drugs. So all these kind of negative, bad habits work in conjunction with each other to fuck up your goals or fuck up where you want to be. So you should probably remove all of those together. But with regards to positive habits, it's probably a good idea to add one at a time if you're looking for sustainable, long-term positive outcomes here. So if you go from eating 1,000 calories a day and double that or triple that to 3,000, you're probably going to last 3 days. But if you add in a shake, a protein shake after your workout, you can probably sustain that for pretty much forever, and it won't have too much of a big a big impact on the rest of your diet and things like that. It's a sneaky shake. That's just an example. Another one could be for losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you probably shouldn't change your entire diet. You should just make it one small change that you find manageable until that becomes a habit, and then start adding more. So it could be just drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up. It could be walking one station further to work, get off a station earlier and walk that little bit. It could be eating a good lean protein, high lean protein breakfast. It could be anything. It could be a bunch of habits that are conducive with your goal of losing weight. So add one sustainable habit at a time and remove all the bad ones, because it's common that I'm going to get some chocolate. All right, I'll have one piece of chocolate. That's all I need. And then 30 seconds later, your fingers are covered in chocolate. The bar is gone. And you just feel so proud of yourself for smashing all the chocolate. That's me. That's me down to a T. So just making better decisions in the supermarket rather than these bad habits, getting rid of these bad habits instead of this all or nothing mentality, where if you have something bad, it doesn't mean you have to go keep snowballing down and have another thing bad, another thing. That's okay. There's loads of research, again, that I talked about last podcast, is that you just need to be 80% consistent, 80 or 90% consistent, and you get very, very good results with regards to weight loss. Now, I'm going to talk to the gaining weight people. You want to build muscle, got to be in a calorie surplus. Targets, estimates that you can kind of shoot for gaining about 1% of body weight per month. 1% of body weight per month is a good amount to gain, so it's not too fast that you gain too much body fat. It's manageable, and that's a good target to strive for until you're kind of happy with the weight you're at, or happy with the muscle you're building. I would suggest you do that for at least 6 months, because otherwise there's not really a sufficient amount of time to really cause some nice long-term adaptations. If you're really struggling with gaining weight, which is like, I would say it's about 20 or 30% of clients I see struggle to gain weight. The other 70% are either happy with where they're at, or they want to struggle with losing weight. So if you are the ones that struggle with gaining weight, eat more palatable foods. I know, like, often those people who struggle to gain weight are trying to be pretty healthy with the foods they eat. You've got to throw in the occasional Percy pig. You've got to get it down, just so you can get the calories. It's that simple. It's not going to, like, have any negative effects. If you're trying to build muscle, that's going to have a lot of positive health outcomes. And having a short-term, more kind of, processed, palatable foods is not going to kill you. It's going to be all right in the short term. Another big one, drink your calories. Like, shakes when you're trying to gain weight are your best friend. Fruit, peanut butter, just slam that in there. It's such a convenient, productive way to gain weight. Drink more calories. Juice, etc. Get that in. And building good habits. So, like, eating early, so you get a good amount of calories in at the start of the day, and have snacks on deck the entire time. Protein bars, homemade protein bars, whatever you want it to be. But you shouldn't. You should be organized effectively, obviously, so that you don't get into a position where it's like mid-afternoon, you haven't eaten anything, and then you've got 4,000 or 5,000 calories to eat in the next 4 hours before bed. It's very, very uncomfortable. I'm not going to spend too much time gaining weight, because everything's relative, but I would say it's generally not a nicer problem to have, but it's more socially acceptable. It's frustrating for people who want to lose weight, but it is more socially acceptable. So we're going to move on from gaining weight now to losing weight. So you want to lose weight, you got to be in a calorie deficit. Use your scales. It's just data. If you have, of course, I'm not talking to the people with eating disorders and things like that. If you know that that's your issue, I'm not the person you should be listening to by any means. But using the scales and treating that number that you see on the scales as data to make decisions off. And typically the scales is not going to lie, so trust that data over your emotions. If you think you are looking better or feeling better, but the scale is telling you a different story with regards to weight loss, it's probably better to trust the scale than anything else. It's quite hard to build a lot of muscle in a short period of time. So if you're, just like training, your weight's going up significantly, it's likely it's not because you're building muscle, it's likely because you're still gaining fat or maintaining your body weight. So trust that data. You can do it every day, you can do it 3 times a week, whatever. It's just information. The more data, the better, in my opinion, just to make better decisions off. Again, the big thing for me with the weight loss is you kind of have to change your identity. It's you can borrow from the bodybuilding world, where it's like, it's cutting season, I'm shredding for summer, and tell people, once you can tell people you're doing it, you're kind of really committed. Once you're keeping it, if you're keeping it to yourself, are you really committed? It's up to you to answer that. I don't know. You're going to have to change your meals. So typically humans rotate the same kinds of meals, 10 or so meals. I don't know the number, but we have the similar kind of set of meals that we cook or we order, and that's what we just repeat over time. Humans are creatures of habits. You'll have to make slight adjustments to those meals. Logical things are exchanging higher fat proteins for lower fat, leaner proteins. Chicken breast rather than thighs. Do something like shrimps rather than salmon. It could be lower fat protein options. As I just said, lower fat yogurt options, these kinds of things that'll help you save some calories. So lean protein options. And for me, like everyone says you can't outwork a bad diet. I've seen people outwork a bad diet, but it's short term and they were training for an Ironman. So you probably don't want to just train for an Ironman to lose weight because that's bloody time consuming. But I would really encourage more activity. You got to kind of pursue this on both ends. Every time I've had a successful weight loss period, it's typically because of two things. My identity's changing. Like I'm going after this, and my activity levels are up because I'm obsessed with food. So I'm always thinking about it. And when I stop doing something, it's like, all right, food time. But if your activity levels go up, it gives you another thing to do. It gives you more energy to burn, and therefore you can eat a little bit more and still lose weight. So find something that you can do consistently. It could be anything, but you just want to be on your feet, moving around. For me, typically, it's a sport that I can be obsessed with and play a few hours a day, because then I can still eat a good amount of food and lose weight, which I love. But that's not practical for everyone. But it isn't the worst idea. It's just kind of, it could be cardio at the gym. Just put on your favorite Netflix show and sit on a bike and do 30 to 60 minutes a couple times a week on the bike, or even a bit more. You can build up. You can start with 5 minutes and just keep going. Those are a few things that have really worked for me in the past. I'm just going to see how long I've been recording. Bear with me. 18 minutes. Bang. Not bad. So just choosing a few meals that, again, set you up for success. They tick all the boxes you're looking for with regards to calorie deficit. And it's like, eat more greens, like these low calorie foods. It's obvious. This is all obvious stuff. And losing weight, the argument, it's simple. It is simple in a way, but it's also exceptionally complicated and difficult. The big thing is the identity needs to change. Who you are really needs to change. The person who gained weight for the last few years, effectively, this is dramatic, but that person needs to die. Sorry for interrupting the pod. I'm just here to advertise the programs. A couple programs in the link in the bio, in the link tree. Hypertrophy program if you want to get jacked out of your nut. And the fundamentals program if you're a bit bored of your training, you want to mix it up, you're fed up of just lifting weights in the gym and you want to become a little bit more athletic. Dive into the link tree and get involved now. Not like suicide, but that ego, I should say. It's a death of an ego, and reborn needs to be a different identity. Someone who is making better food decisions, making better activity decisions with regards to they're aligned with their goals. And again, I'm not saying any of this is easy. I think it's very bloody difficult. And these are a few things that I've had success with. This is not particularly an evidence, like scientific literature, evidence-based conversation. It's more what I've seen success with. And yes, the progress is never linear. So like you'll probably have periods that go well, periods that don't go so well. The more informed you can be around nutrition, the better. With higher quality information, just like I spoke about in the previous episode with regards to how to judge the quality of information that you're getting, is so important because there's so much bullshit out there, and you got to rely on the data. Like, what's the scale telling you? You can also measure like waist circumference, these kinds of things, quantifiable data to make decisions off is going to be your best bet moving forward. And again, I'm not no way am I saying that I'm like the bee's knees with helping people lose weight. For me, it is, again, it's a psychological battle. It might even require therapy to help figure out why you are using food to eat this certain way, what needs to change. Is there another mechanism that you can rely on rather than food to help you get through whatever you're getting through? But again, that's above my pay grade. Yes. So little pod, just 20 minutes in and out on how to change food habits to change your body. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next episode. Grazie.